Hello and welcome to the Photo Bar Podcast, talking all about the business and lifestyle photography while drinking beer. This is episode number 8, Should You Watermark Your Photos? Hey, my name is Matt Druid, and my goal is to help you become a better person, a better photographer, and a better entrepreneur. So this episode will be a little bit different because today I have my good friend Amanda Summerlin, who will be helping me co-host the podcast going forward. So I guess before we dive into anything, let's find out a little bit about you.
Hey, Matt.
Hello.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda. I am a wedding and family photographer based out of Atlanta. I specialize in destination weddings, adventure weddings, and LGBTQ weddings, and families.
And families.
And families.
I feel like a DJ. Do I sound like a DJ?
I know. I feel very awkward introducing myself like that. I think I definitely need to work on my elevator pitch. Making notes right now.
It wasn't too bad. I think everybody gets what you do, so that's the important part. So
it's like going to a workshop when they're like, and now you introduce yourself, and you're like, crap, what do I do?
Hello. I take pictures. All right. So, per the kind of new podcast trend, we are starting with the beer. So today I am drinking a Sweetwater Going Coastal IPA with pineapple. Have you ever had that?
Ooh, cool. I had a beer with pineapple the other day, but it wasn't Sweetwater, and it was no pineapple. I was sad.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me if this one's any good, because I was really, digging the idea of it.
It is good. It doesn't really taste like pineapple, though.
Oh. Well, I mean, hops are kind of citrusy to start with, so maybe it just kills the pineapple. Cool. Today I have a Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA.
Ooh,
have you ever tried that before?
No.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So Dogfish Head, they do this thing where when you make beer, they boil it for however long. It depends on the beer, right?
Mm.
So this one's boiled for 90 minutes, and there's 90 additions of hops throughout the whole process. So it's supposed to make it more flavorful and less bitter. So
we have to let me know how that goes. I thought it meant that you had to drink it within 90 minutes.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's going to last 90 minutes unless it's super, super bitter. So, and you're supposed to drink it from a snifter.
I'm drinking mine.
It's me pouring it into. Where's your paper bag, man?
I'm one step above that. One step above.
Whoa.
So
making progress. Today was kind of a reminder of why I do what I do day, actually. I was editing photos this morning. I did a blog today, a family session, and I got a message from a friend. The lines are very blurred anymore. And her grandmother had passed away, and she wanted me to pull up a photo from their old family session and fix, something and then send it to them for the obituary. And so I was like, I did that today, and I was just having one of those moments where I'm like, kind of remembering that we don't just do, goofy stuff all the time. Sometimes we do really important stuff and do things for people that are meaningful. And it was sad because her grandmother was really cool. I had made their family photos for a long time, but I was also very happy that I had something that meant something to them to give to them at this time, and it made me feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's seriously amazing. Well, it's amazing that you were able to do that now that she died, just to be clear. But
right.
I've only had, I think, one time I've ever had anybody.
Really?
Anything, yeah.
As many years as you've been in business? I mean, I've had that. I get 2 or 3 of those a year, it seems like.
Oh,
where
geez.
it's because we shoot weddings, and there's so many people there, and there's been so many times people have contacted me to ask them to send them a file or look for extra photos of somebody.
That's crazy. Maybe I just have really healthy clients, couples.
Maybe I don't know. Now I'm
Yeah.
getting kind of worried I might be.
Maybe it's you.
That sucks.
So other than that, like, what have you been doing? Weddings, traveling?
Yeah, I actually shot my last out-of-state wedding for the year a couple of weeks ago, and now I get to edit everything. I only have like 3 weddings left on the year, and they're all local.
Me too. Well,
Isn't
except
that
for
nice?
one in December, I'm going to San Francisco.
Oh, cool. In December?
Yep.
I've never been to San Francisco in the winter. I wonder if it's actually cold there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see because they live literally right next to the beach area, like a couple miles. So I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm curious to see too. But yeah, other than that, I've just been catching up on weddings, editing,
Yeah.
general stuff, I guess.
So are you all caught up?
Mask. Pretty much. I got one wedding left to edit real quick that I just shot this past weekend. So other than that, I will be.
That's cool. I'll send you some stuff. I got lots of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I need much more. Yeah, you upgraded to the new Lightroom?
I did, and it's actually a lot faster, just like you said. I don't know why everybody was having such a panic attack on the internet.
Yeah, I don't either. Mine's working fine too. One thing that I really love though is how much faster the brushes are. I don't know if you've noticed, but like if you dodge or burn or something like that, like you can actually see like the red overlays instead of it glitching out
faster?
and stuff. And it like when you click and paint something in, it just goes right away.
Oh yeah, I've been really impressed with because I'm not smart like you. I don't use Photo Mechanic. I actually call in Lightroom, and with the new built-in, it uploads the
Sidecar Files.
It's the man, my brain just went away. It's the previews that are built in camera. It loads those.
Yeah, that's what the Sidecar is supposed to be.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
and so
files.
And so, because my process before had always been to import and then add the preset on import, and then it would have to render everything. So it doesn't render the preset until you actually get it to develop. So you're just looking at whatever preview was built in the camera, but it goes so much faster for calling.
Actually, I heard somebody talking about that today, actually, and they said, like, all right, so if you use the Sidecar files, but you do apply on import of something, those Sidecar files go away. So then you just have to build the previews, like one-to-one previews or whatever you would do, Does that make sense?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't use those because I call in Photo Mechanic still. But, yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't know.
All right, let's see. Well, I guess maybe we shall jump into the actual topic of convo, which
All right, what are we talking about today?
Watermarking photos. And what kind of brought this whole thing up was actually I was on Facebook and like saw some girl post in a group about how she had posted a photo on her business page, and I guess one of her clients' friends or family members took the photo off of her Facebook page and posted it on their page, and it had her watermark on it, and they didn't change anything. They didn't change like the editing. They didn't change the watermark. They didn't crop anything. They didn't do anything. They literally pretty much just shared the photo. And she was just like super pissed off, asking like, how should she approach it? Should she contact them directly through Messenger? Should she send like a cease and desist letter? Should she get a lawyer involved? Like all this stuff. And pretty much everybody in there was just like going
Why
bananas.
are you so mad?
Saying, yeah, you should definitely contact them. They stole your copyright. They did this and that. And I'm thinking, like, what the hell's the problem? Like, they didn't alter or change anything.
So they didn't put a filter on it. They didn't. They just
nothing.
copied it and shared it.
They literally just shared the photo. And I'm thinking,
with her identification mark on it.
Yeah. Free marketing is,
I mean, isn't that doing her a favor?
That's the way I looked at it. But apparently, like, none of these people seem to have think that, and they were saying, like, well, her watermark's on it and stuff, and I was thinking to myself, well, that doesn't mean shit, but, whatever.
I mean, that's awesome, actually, if her watermark's on it and they're sharing it, everybody's going to know who took the stupid photo.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was saying, and that got me on this thing of, like, well, like, should you watermark photos? Does that do anything? Should you not watermark photos and stuff?
Yeah.
What is your kind of stance on watermarking?
I mean, it's probably smart to do it, but I'm way too lazy, so I don't do it anymore. I used to, but I stopped
so
when
you
we
don't watermark
rebranded.
at all?
No. But you do, don't you?
I do. Well, on
Yeah.
certain things, I do. So, like, on my website, like on my portfolio photos and stuff, I do not watermark anything on those. But, like, my blog posts and things I share on social, I do, but only for the branding aspect. It has nothing to do with, like, protecting the photo from theft or, anything like that. It's literally just for branding.
Well, I mean, because clearly, even with a watermark, someone's going to steal your photo, right?
Well, that's just the thing. They could totally take your photo. I mean, obviously, people for years have been going into like Photoshop and like getting rid of watermarks, so that's not going to do anything. And like even like AI nowadays, like Google has like programs that could remove watermarks in seconds without doing anything. You just
Man, that just seems wrong. Why would Google do that to us?
yeah. It's not like they're going out and just removing watermarks, but I guess it serves some sort of purpose. I don't know the whole reasoning behind it, but
I'm Googling that right now. I'm Googling Google removing watermarks.
yeah, it's definitely fun.
Google shows how easy it is to remove watermarks.
Yeah, with AI, literally, there's a program that goes in and
It's an algorithm that automatically removes watermarks from stock photos. Oh man, that's harsh.
Yeah.
This is from August of the year.
that's what I'm saying. So watermark literally does nothing about.
Oh, this article
image
totally
theft.
has a picture of an Adobe stock photo. It says it's like side by side. It says the top one, it says Adobe stock right across the middle, and the bottom one, it's like gone.
Yeah, it's impressive. So yeah,
Why,
basically
Google?
that does nothing, as far as
No.
image theft and stuff goes, and so I guess it really is more about branding than anything, right?
Probably. I mean, I did spend a lot of money on all that branding,
Yeah.
the logos and all that kind of stuff. You think I'd use them more, but I mean, in the end, it's really my workflow is such that I don't really want to add one more step to it, and because what I noticed when I was watermarking my images before was, I'm not gonna lie, I'm lazy. So I would set up the export from Lightroom, and it would put the watermark dead center on the bottom, and it worked for 90% of the photos. But then there was always like a couple of them where that watermark was covering up something in the photo, and it looked kind of crummy. And then when we rebranded, my new watermark is, it's kind of a similar look, and it's just, it's really just my name with a little box around it or whatever. And I didn't want to wreck the photos anymore, but I also didn't want to spend the time moving them around and putting the watermark on the top, and some of them are in the middle and the others or whatever. And so I just decided that I wouldn't do it anymore. And so I probably am losing out on some opportunities for people to steal my photos and repost them so that somebody knows who I took it. But at the same time, that few minutes I save is kind of valuable to me, so I go with that.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess there too, they could still crop out the photo or,
Sure.
use this Google shit and just remove it totally.
I mean, but you're pretty good with workflow and all that kind of stuff. Have you figured out a solution that makes it faster? Or
I mean, for me, it doesn't take me that long. No, so I do the same thing. So I have like 4 different export presets set up, so I can do either a white or a black version. So if it's like an all white photo, then I would use the black version. I typically will use the white one because it works on pretty much everything.
right?
And then I have one set up for.
Your logo has some red in it too, though, right?
It does, yeah. So like the black version is just black and white.
Okay.
But then I can post that on either the right or the left side. So there's an export for, black on the right or left, white, type of thing. And then I just look at the photo, and depending on how it's laid out and where the negative space is and stuff like that will determine which way it goes.
Yeah.
And I'm only putting it on maybe like 40 to 50 photos total, say for a blog post.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you putting on like 100% opacity, or are you reducing the opacity? How are you doing that?
Mine's on 100%. I used to do 80, and I don't know, it just looked weird, so I just said screw it, put it on 100, and just left it there. And I don't know, I guess one could argue that like a watermark detracts from the photo and stuff, but I guess for me, for the reason I'm doing it is solely for branding. Just because a lot of photos get, like, say, pinned on Pinterest, right?
Right.
So in that aspect, it's good to have that branding there, and I'm not as concerned about the aesthetics being super perfect and artistic,
Right.
or like if I post to Instagram or Facebook, it's kind of the same thing, because that stuff gets shared around everywhere. So I'll put it on for just those reasons.
So, like, you put watermarks on Instagram photos?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But I mean, Instagram's pretty. I mean, like on Facebook, for instance, it's a pretty big picture. It goes up to 1,800 pixels or something like that. It's pretty big.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
But like on Instagram, that's like a 640 pixel wide image. How do you make it so that's? I mean, are you putting it like right in the middle, all giant, or how do you make it so it's legible?
Like I export everything exactly the same. So I export it all out just for my website size. So it'd be like 1,500 pixels. And then either the right or the left side watermark, and I use those same photos for Facebook and Instagram. But they look perfectly fine on Instagram or Facebook or anything. So I don't know. I don't really get into resizing everything for each platform and this, that, and the other. That's just way too much work, I think. But
what? I mean, even I have a preset for exporting to Instagram on my Lightroom.
Yeah, and I guess if you're not like doing watermarks, it would probably make that part a lot easier and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when I export from Lightroom, I send it to a folder on my Dropbox, and then it's easier to import it into Instagram. Just done.
Yeah, that's weird because I don't do that at all. I'll just like export them to a folder on my desktop that I'm going to use for my blog post, and then I'll drag probably like 5 or so photos that I will be using on Instagram and just literally text them to myself and save them to my phone and post them from there.
That works too.
Yeah. Okay, so you being one that doesn't use watermarks at all, like if somebody does use a watermark, like what kind of watermark should it be? You think it should be somebody's like logo, or should it be their name, or how those old school photos used to say like copyright 2017 proof like a million times through the photo? Should it be that?
Well, I mean, we're out here trying to make pretty stuff, right? That's the whole point of what we do. And I think that it needs to not detract from the subject of the photo and not detract from, the palette and all that kind of stuff. When I was in art school, don't tell anybody that I went to art school. I studied painting. Actually, there was this one instructor in particular that I had who was always so frustrated with all the art students because we always signed our names way too big, and so he just completely forbade us to sign our work in his class. And it was kind of funny because it's like I was thinking about watermarks as they relate to just art in general. I mean, because watermarks are basically signatures, right?
Exactly.
And so it's like. I was watching, that podcast I told you about, the Nerd Writer podcast? I was watching that today while I worked, and he was talking about this French painter. I think it was French, Jacques-Louis David. And he was analyzing one of his paintings, and he liked his painting so much that he signed it twice. Right? And it literally does. This painting, it's called The Death of Socrates. He has signed it twice, but he signed it in a way that it looks like a freaking watermark because there's these concrete or marble structures, benches in the painting, and he signed it his name, but it's like it looks like it was carved into the marble.
Interesting. And
he did it 2 times, and it was like on either side of the painting, but it's part of the painting. It doesn't stand out. It's not like Van Gogh was like, I'm gonna write my name really big while I cut my ear off or whatever, but like David was like, he made it a part of the painting. It looks like it belongs in the painting. And I'm like, that is how you should do a watermark. If you're going to do one, make it belong in the image wherever you put it. Don't overwhelm the image.
So basically you're saying we should not have proof copyright 2017 a million times across the photo?
Well, I mean, maybe not for wedding photography, maybe for, you're doing school stuff.
Yeah,
that
makes sense.
That makes sense. Like
you're selling like packages of prints and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I would agree with that. So, I guess as placement, you sometimes you see like kind of what I do, where it's just kind of small and a left or a right corner on the bottom, But I also see somebody like with those big ass fucking, like all the way through the middle of it. And you
Right
know,
across the middle, yeah.
yeah, and it's just on Facebook, and it's just huge across the middle, and it just looks ridiculous to me.
I mean, but like, what percentage of your image is your watermark, though? I mean, you keep it pretty small, right?
Yeah, it's tiny. It's like 12 pixels or whatever that size is in Lightroom for the watermark sizing. Is it pixels?
I don't know.
It's pretty small, whatever it is. I've also seen people where they put them really small, but it's in the middle of the photo.
Yeah.
And I guess people are probably doing that so you can't crop out the photo, is what I would guess.
But Google's got that all taken care of now, so it's pointless.
Yeah, that and...
So you may as well just put it somewhere pretty, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. So, but somewhere tasteful, I guess, is where we should put it.
Yeah, don't you think?
No, I fully agree.
Yeah.
That's why I just use the bottom left or right, because typically there's not as often going to be some important element in those corners, at least for me.
Yeah. Do you have a preset for the middle or anything, like a center left or a center right?
No, it's always just left or right.
No top, no, just left or right bottom?
Yep, left or right bottom. Always.
I don't know, man. Maybe you need to tighten up your compositions and start using that bottom left and right corner for something.
Yeah, maybe for leading lines and stuff, but I mean, that's about it.
Yeah. But it's not usually somebody's face in the bottom left or right corner.
No, well, sometimes, but no, not usually. But that's why I have the left and right option,
Yeah.
But, okay, and so it shouldn't be too big, and it shouldn't be annoying or distracting.
Or probably not orange.
You don't think so? Mine's
I
red.
don't know.
Well,
our
red and white.
Yeah, I don't know. Our colors are orange and blue. Well, copper and blue, but, orange on the internet, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think color makes a big difference?
I don't know. I have to wonder about that. That was one of my hesitations because we did change our colors and they I guess our logo will translate to black and white, but I didn't like it in black or white when I tried to do an overlay, so I just gave up. But I mean, what do you think about color? Is there? I mean, I guess a lot of photographers do shoot in consistent palettes, so maybe it would work.
Yeah, I guess it really just depends. I guess it would be on a case-by-case basis, really, depending on what the colors were, what the photo was, and stuff like that, whether it looked good or not. Because, I've seen plenty of watermarks with different color palettes and stuff, and some look perfectly fine, other ones look terrible, and I guess it's personal opinion, too. Like, I like the way mine looks, I'm okay with it, and some other people might be like, no, that looks terrible.
Well, you have a bright red in your logo, but you also shoot in pretty vivid colors. Your palette is really rich, so I think that works for you.
Yeah, that could be true too, and that is true. I'm very vivid and, I guess, saturated,
Yeah, and I shoot a little flatter than you, so maybe that's why the colors didn't work with mine as well.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah, because you do have a more matte look, I guess.
Yeah.
Could you make the logo somehow that muted look?
I probably could. When I was doing it before, I was doing like a 75 or 80% opacity so that it sort of took on the background. But I was always exporting my logo in white, like you were talking about before.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that looks.
All of our branding now is, navy blue or that sort of coppery color, and I didn't really like the way either of them looked. I mean, because the navy blue just disappears into everything because it's almost the color of shadows, and so it didn't have enough contrast. And then the copper was, I don't know, it just didn't quite work, which is weird because, I tend to shoot a lot of warm tone stuff too, but I don't know. And it was weird at white and it was weird black, and eventually I'm just like, yeah, screw this. We don't need those things anyway.
Well, okay, that I guess proves a point. So I guess there really is no right or wrong to using or not using a watermark. No. And really the only point of the watermark, I guess at this point, would just be more for branding.
Brand recognition for sure, yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing I use it for a lot is, like, I don't know about you, but for, say, weddings, right? Like, I'll send out a gallery to the clients, and they can look at them, and they can share that gallery with all their family and friends. And the clients typically will always get the high-resolution files so they can download those. But all the family and friends, I allow them to download free social media sized photos, and that have my watermark on them. So they have the option
so they can go to your proofing gallery or whatever and download a free file that has your watermark on it and share it?
So they can,
anybody who's a friend or family?
Yep, whoever has access to the gallery, they can download all the photos they want to. They are all resized for social media, so, I mean, they couldn't print them. They would print like shit.
Right.
But they all have my watermark on them.
But that's pretty sick genius right there.
Yeah, and the whole point is because the majority of people, they want photos to share on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving it to them for free. They can download all the photos they want to. And you would think that would kind of take away from some of the print sales, but it hasn't. People still will buy prints. Like grandma's still buying prints, mom's still buying prints, people still buying prints from the gallery. And downloading.
Are you finding that people are sharing them quite a lot?
Yeah, definitely.
Can you monitor the downloads? Do you know how many downloads you're getting?
Yeah, I can see the downloads and stuff, and it's often I'm friends with the friends of couples and clients and stuff too. Mm-hmm. So I actually see them posting these photos, and oddly enough, even though my couples and clients can download the high resolution files and share those, they will still download the social media version to share on social media without me asking.
Totally.
Which is pretty amazing.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You gonna be mad if I steal that idea?
No, go ahead. I mean, we're going to send this out to, I guess, millions of people, hopefully. But no, and it's all about this sharing the hell out of my shit so people see it, I guess,
Yeah. I guess I always thought of watermarks as being a way to prevent people from stealing my photos, and then I just was like, I don't care anymore. But the brand recognition, you have a really valid point. That's really intelligent, the way you're distributing those photos and letting people share like that.
Oh, well, thanks. I feel smart now. But, I mean,
that's smart.
From day one, the whole reason for me to use, a watermark was just for the branding. Mm-hmm. Just because it didn't seem like, as far as theft goes, I mean, you can Photoshop it, you can crop it, you can use this artificial intelligence apparently now, and it does nothing for theft.
Screw you, Google.
Which is what this girl was all upset about, was the theft aspect. And I'm like, well, she's not... I guess
that wasn't theft. That was just a helping hand that she bit, is what that was.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, she didn't look at it in a different way, I guess. But yeah, I guess so. That pretty much boils it down. Watermarks are basically just for branding and nothing else. And they should be tasteful and kind of sexy looking if you're going to use one.
Maybe get some red in there.
Yeah.
Red makes it sexy. How's your beer?
Oh, it's doing pretty good. I'm a little over halfway through. Yeah. This can's pretty cool, though. It has this sky blue and this fish jumping out of a lake with a pineapple. Can you see that? Dude, look at that fish in the... Kind of reminds me of the B-52. So I want to grab your pineapple or whatever. What about yours? Are you doing good?
Yeah, it's not bitter, but it has this kind of intense aftertaste.
Good or bad?
Mostly good. I'm a fan of hops. Hops are one of those things that people love or hate, I think.
Yeah, I'm a big fan too. But
although it's getting to be winter.
What's that?
You can't taste the pineapple?
No, not at all.
No. I was saying it's getting to be winter, so I'm kind of hopped out, and I'm ready to move on to
the lagers.
Yeah, the darker beers. Get some nice porters or stouts.
I feel you. Those are the ones that fluff you up, though.
A little bit, but they usually are higher in alcohol too. So you
true that.
You only really need one.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else really to talk about watermarks?
No, watermarks really just aren't that sexy. I mean, yours is sexy, but in general, I think that
Yeah, I say. Basically, it doesn't stop theft. If you're going to use it, use it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. I think it's good for branding. And if you're going to use it, make it tasteful. That's about it.
That's pretty much the end of that.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap up this episode here. I guess anything else you want to say about watermarks? One last chance.
Nah.
Okay.
I might have to do one though.
Yeah, I would be curious to see you try that muted kind of look to see if it fits the rest of the photos. That'd be interesting.
I might have to give it a try, especially that whole idea of distributing free
For the galleries, yeah.
social media files to family and friends. That takes a lot of burden off your clients, and I think that's really nice.
Well, that was my big thing with the ability of, the galleries, obviously. It's like I want print sales and stuff, but it's like I don't count on print sales to make money. It's just like kind of extra icing on my cake. Like my income is built in up front. So I'm not hugely concerned if they don't buy prints, and if they buy prints, then that's extra awesome. Which pretty much, every job somebody's buying something, right? But the sharing aspect, it's kind of like a disease. They keep spreading it around. And that's kind of
I think more than anything else, that whole notion of getting your brand in front of other people. Marketing people say that is, if someone sees you 9 times, then they'll remember you. Yeah. And so if you're in a group of people, people who are getting married often know other people are about to get married, and if that group of friends and family are sharing your photos amongst themselves, and they're seeing your name over and over again, that can't hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what am I trying to say? This beer is really good. That can only help you, is what I'm trying to say. It can only help, because brand recognition is everything. And, there's only so many blogs you can put your name on. And
that's it. Yeah, I fully agree. All right. Well, I guess that wraps up this episode officially. If you want to check out my work, you can visit my site at matthewdruin.com, or Instagram is @mattdruin, and Twitter is @matthewdruin, and Facebook is facebook.com/Matthew Druin Photography. What about you, Amanda? Where can people check you out?
You can find my website at www.amandasummerlin.com. Summerlin is summer like the season, Lin. And you can also find me on Instagram every now and then at the Amanda Summerlin. The other one who's an Amanda Summerlin is not me. She's in college. Leave her alone. You can also find me on Facebook at Facebook/Amanda Summerlin Photography. Awesome. I never can remember all that stuff.
Yeah, I've done this a couple of times.
Yeah, I'll get better, I promise.
Anyhow, that's the episode that we got for you. I guess one last thing, if you enjoy this podcast or any of the other episodes, please take a few minutes to leave a 5-star review on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts at. It really helps other people find the podcast and makes it look really cool. And that way we can help other people find freedom in their lives and their business and everything else. So until then, I guess we'll talk to you next time.